it's going to be cold, and the rut is going to be great.
Nice 10, come out, Jason, some nose room.
I don't care where those bucks are going to come from or where you think they're going to come from. No matter what, they're not going to stop until they get to that downwind side.
Oh, that's a big buck, buddy.
Early season whitetails can be patterned and tend to move mostly in the evenings, leaving their bedding areas to arrive at their main food source by dusk. The main food source, typically a large agricultural field, is where most deer on a property will congregate and feed together through the night. However, focusing on the field edges can be a big mistake. If you aren't able to make a shot, you risk having to climb down from your stand or exit your blind and bumping the deer off their main food source. By doing so, you show them it's no longer safe in that area and risk pushing mature bucks into hiding. A lot of pre-season work to prevent this situation begins during the spring when we plant what many refer to as kill plots. Essentially, a kill plot is a smaller food plot strategically located between the bedding area and the main food source that you can easily enter and exit without being detected. If you didn't plant a kill plot this spring, you can still hunt this pattern as long as you know where the bedding area and main food sources are and can set up on the travel route between the two. Sometimes these locations might not be on the property you hunt, but as long as one of them is, you're still in the game. Once you've determined point A and point B, set up to cut deer off in the middle. Transition areas, small food plots, small clear cuts, oak flats, or anywhere that offers a convenience store type atmosphere for a deer to stop on the way to dinner is the key here. Not only will deer usually pass through during legal shooting hours, but they'll also typically vacate the area by dark. This is crucial because even if you don't get a shot, they'll be gone by the time you get down from your stand. This tactic is a great way not only to minimize the risks of educating deer of your presence, but also to increase your chances at another shot opportunity at the same location on a different day. As always, weather patterns continue to play a big role in whitetail movement, with the hurricane of last week pushing rain and various fronts across the U.S. driving deer activity predictions up on both sides of the front in hunt stand and deer cast. The current moon phase lines up with peak evening feeding times, and the moon guide is predicting good evening movement as the red moon settles in for the next few days. Focusing on bed to feed patterns this week will surely yield activity, and the cold front coming across parts of the U.S. Friday to Sunday should bump that up even more. There's a multitude of tactics that can be used when bow hunting in the early season, but it all revolves around summer patterns. September bow hunting gives the hunter a brief window to catch bucks still on their summer pattern. Pay attention to your trail cameras, the wind, and your entry and exit routes to score on an early season buck this week.
By middle of September, there are quite a few hunting seasons open. Bucks may still be in bachelor herds, but there's a pretty good chance the velvets come off. And once that velvet comes off, for the first few days, they're still buddies. After that, they don't like each other. So what happens is they disperse. That buck that you saw in velvet, he may be traveling quite a distance already to start looking for his own territory. Not that deer are territorial, but they're looking for new areas a lot of times. Bucks are very much like people. Some stay in the same spot, some leave, some come back, all those kind of things. But before that rut really gets started, like in middle September, if you could hunt then to the first part of October, hunt food sources. Those food sources pretty much where maybe you've seen those deer in the past. Those bucks are really trying to gear up for the coming hunting season, for our hunting season, for their breeding season. With that being the case, they're going to try to put on as much weight as they can. So the best food sources you can find are going to be really good hunting places. Now, if you can find a place such that where there's a bedding area and a feeding area, if you can find that transition zone between those two places, your chances of taking a buck are really, really good. But still, those deer right now are still in the late summer patterns to an extent. Once the rut starts, all those things are off. So if you know where there's a really big buck, once again, take that buck during the earliest of the hunting seasons that are opening to you.
Everything about a buck's summer range revolves around food. More so, food, cover, and security put together comprising the buck's small core area during the summer months and throughout September is a recipe for a great opportunity to harvest a mature buck. The 2023 Rut Report is proudly brought to you by these fine partners: Mossberg, since 1919; Taurus, award-winning pistols and revolvers; Pyramid Air, the right products for your needs; Raw Frozen Scents; Habit Outdoors; Reveal Cellular Cameras; SpyPoint Cameras; Stealth Cam, and Muddy Outdoors.